Hey folks, it's been a hot minute. I don't know if I'm going to post this, but I've had a lot of progress lately, and so I wanted to explain why I've been gone, and I mean, there's so much to unpack. So first off, long story short, I've been struggling with an invisible disability. It took the better part of a decade to untangle, and the high level is I was struggling with 4 overlapping systemic problems. H. pylori, so that's a stomach infection, which then caused dysbiosis, which is a GI microbiome getting out of whack, which is worse than it sounds. Also causing leaky gut syndrome, which also all caused HPA axis dysfunction. So the symptoms were basically autoimmune disease. One day to the next was I had no idea how much energy I'd have. I had no idea if I could even sleep. I had anxiety and depression, which are directly caused by those things. And it was caused by burnout, repeated burnouts, which then caused repeated infections, which then exacerbated the underlying dysbiosis, and it was just a cascade of failures. And for a long time, I was really angry because I was like, the American medical establishment is useless. Like, it's a joke, burn it all down. Which, I mean, I do still think we should burn down the medical establishment and replace it with AI. That's a different story. But, like, I was sick. I was really sick. And I haven't told a lot of people this, but at the beginning of 2024, so just over a year ago, when I made the New Year's resolution to put myself first, I thought I was dying. Doctors couldn't find anything wrong with me, but I was just getting worse and worse. So I was preparing to die. Like, I thought that I was falling down some kind of medical mystery, and looking at these 4 things, like, because you go to a doctor and you say, I have reflux and heartburn, and I'm chronically tired. And they run a couple of tests and they say, well, I can't find anything wrong with you. It must just be all in your head. Take some more antacids and go home. Well, after 8 years of going to the doctors and saying the same things, I finally went to a dietitian, and she was like, oh, read this book on burnout. Read this book on adrenal fatigue. Aha, figured it out. Got a stool test, saw that my innards were completely jacked up. That's a medical term, by the way, completely jacked up. So that's why I've been gone. At the time of recording, I finished my H. pylori treatment about 5 months ago. And I basically followed a textbook recovery trajectory, which, thank God, I was cautiously optimistic. Now I'm just like, okay, I'm hitting every milestone. I'm able to eat more. My stomach doesn't hurt anymore. I have more energy. My sleep is getting better. All of that. And a huge chunk of that is thanks to Claude and ChatGPT. So thank you, AI. Particularly the projects function, where you can just put all of your medical notes and logs and journal entries and everything else, all your diagnostic material, and say, what the hell is wrong with me? Here's what someone said. Here's what the dietitian observed. This is what I think. And the ability of these tools to recognize patterns and figure stuff out is remarkable. And these tools are also in their infancy, which is just, man, it's going to be so much. I am envious of young people today, because someone who's just born, or even you in the audience that are 20 something, there's a whole bunch of problems you're never going to have to deal with, or that if you do deal with them, you're going to have PhD level help in your pocket at all time. I cannot tell you, I have probably spent about 4 or 5 dozen hours or more going over all of my symptoms and lab results and everything with these AI tools to figure out what's going on. And for any medical experts out there in the audience, please let me know if I'm wrong. But those 4 things can fly under the radar for years. And so, anyways, long story short, taking a step back, I've got another few months of recovery left, at which point I think I'm gonna like double down. I don't know what I'm gonna work on, but I want to do something. I feel like I'm coming out of a decade of, like a lost decade of my life. Not that I didn't do anything during that decade, but I mean, I was struggling. I was treading water. I was drowning, figuratively, of course. And yeah, no, I'm like back in the race, and that feels really good. So like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna publish this, but there you have it. That's why I had to take a step back and why I wasn't doing well, and why pretty much nothing I've tried to do the last few years has really panned out. Is just because I didn't have the energy, and I was just trying to stay alive, trying to stay afloat while running on empty. I don't recommend doing that. So that's it. Take care.